So today we're going to talk about how to have greater intimacy or and how to have more sex in marriage. But really, it's going to be about your commitment to your mind, right? As men and women. So do you protect your mind, right? So if you're married, the hope would be that only thoughts of your wife or your husband intimately come into your mind. Only you're fantasizing about them. There are no outside fantasies about other people. And so when you think about your commitment to yourself and to your spouse, do you keep not only like, yeah, I didn't cheat on her, right? Or yeah, I'm not having an affair with someone, but do you have a commitment to keep your mind pure? So a great example of this would be if you're scrolling on Facebook or Instagram and there's a story or a post of a lady in a swimsuit or something provocative or big breasts or butts or I don't know, I guess men are more visual. I don't know what a woman would see that would make us like, oh my gosh, right? But do you then stay on that image? Do you allow your mind to be pleased by it? Or do you maybe consider unfollowing that person or blocking that person or unfriending that person so that you don't have to be exposed to images like that? Right? Because it's one thing to say, yeah, I'm not physically out there cheating on my wife or my husband, but I do allow myself to look at hot people or hot things and get pleasure from them. Do you keep a guard around your mind? Is there a commitment to your spouse that you'll only fantasize about them? One of the greatest gifts that Skylar has given me as a wife, because most women want to be chosen, right? They want to know that their spouse desires them. Like, I want to know that he loves to be with me and wants to be with me. And I don't know that that's a natural process for most men, but what he's done is trained his brain to desire me. And he's made a verbal commitment to me saying, I don't fantasize about other women. I'm not lusting after other women. I don't allow my mind to go there. So in our house, we guard our minds very, very tightly. And we talk about it. And there's this higher level of commitment, more than I'm not going to cheat on you, but I'm going to keep my mind pure for you. And when I believe when you have a pure mind and your wife or your husband is the only person that you fantasize about, think about when you're having sex with your partner, that you're thinking about them, your partner, not a past experience or someone that you think is hot or some celebrity, right? If you do that, it will lead to greater intimacy and greater connection. And I get it. It's this next level of thinking, I believe. And I believe it will help create the oneness that God designed for marriages. Kind of on a separate note in something that could seem harmless, but I believe could take from intimacy and take from connection and potentially decrease sexual connection in your marriage is seeking approval from the other sex, from the opposite sex. And so again, maybe you're not cheating on your wife or cheating on your husband, but you allow yourself to get approval from the opposite sex, right? We all know what it feels like to be like, whoa, like when there's this connection with someone of the opposite sex and you feel connected and you can pull away or you can lean into that. And so what do you think about you in your everyday life when you go? Are you open, right? If there's a sexual connection with someone, you think they're hot, or do you allow yourself to lean into that? Or is that a no-fly zone where you're like, you know what? I don't connect with people that I think are hot, like people of the opposite sex, right? That's a place that's guarded just for my wife or just for my husband. And so I believe these are some of the things that aren't said about sexual intimacy, but they go a long, long way. If I'm guarding my mind and I'm guarding my interactions, right? And I'm reserving them just for my husband, or you're reserving them just for your wife, there's this awe and this wonder that's only yours, and no one else gets to enter into that, and it is beyond special. So I hope that you amp it up, right? If those haven't been standards that you've set in your marriage or just personally for yourself, I hope and I challenge you to lean into that. So if there's something on Instagram or Facebook that's maybe not appropriate or that would cause lust or would cause pleasurable feelings, right, in viewing something, that you do put in safeguards so that that doesn't happen anymore, and that you would stop or walk away from connection with the opposite sex so that you can save that energy for your one and only, for the person you've committed your life to, and for the person that you are hopefully have the greatest sexual connection with in the world. So I hope this helps, and there'll be many, many more. So if you haven't seen the other bit of videos about intimacy, I would go check them out and subscribe.